Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? So as you know, I'm reviewing the episodes of the Fear Clinic, and last night, I think it was episode 4. I've got to upload episode 3 because I've done my review, but I just need to upload that. And this is episode 4, where we was introduced to 3 more people and their phobias. So the first one was Zara has ornithobia, and that is a fear of birds. So this is quite a common fear. This one isn't as rare as some of the others, because there's quite a lot of people who don't like birds. So she's saying, but hers was a bit extreme. She was saying she can't eat eggs if there's like feathers on them. She was saying she doesn't eat outside at all. So even when they go on holiday, her and her family can't eat outside, and even when it's sunshine and stuff, because she's just scared of birds. It was very extreme. The thing that scared her was like the flapping, she was saying, of like the wings. It was the sound. And her motivation to change was her 2-year-old son, because she doesn't want him to see her scared. And what I think about this program, what's really good, is that the people with a stronger why, a strong reason to like get over their fears, are the ones that are pushing through. The people who are just doing it for themselves, or they don't have a strong enough reason, they're pulling out. It's not working for them. So hers was, your children, I'd say, are a big motivation, because you're probably going to do anything for them. So when she went into it, she was saying, I want to be able to take my child to the park. I want to be able to do these things, because at the moment she avoids places with birds. It's that extreme that she will Google locations. I don't even know how that's possible, because there's birds everywhere, but she Googles locations to see if there's going to be birds there. There's birds everywhere. So she will. So what they did with Zara is they took her to a pigeon coop. So it was like a shed with birds in there. She couldn't go in. She was shaking, she was crying. She wasn't able to go actually into the shed with the birds. It was probably just felt too enclosed. But what she did do is she stepped away. The professional was fantastic. They did some talking to her, being really patient with her, explaining the process. And then what she did end up doing is there was cages with birds, and she was closing her eyes and she was putting her hand against the cages, and the man was getting birds to come out slowly, and they were flapping. So she did hear the flapping wings. She was putting her hand next to it. And then when they gave her the beta blockers, so they're giving everyone beta blockers, and beta blockers are like a medication that actually calms you down. So people with anxiety take that quite a lot. So she took that, and I think that made a big difference to actually everyone in this program. It made a big difference too. So when she came back then, she actually got to the point where she was able to not only withstand putting her hand by the cage and the birds flapping, but she then, at the end, was in the park, and there was pigeons all around her, and she was like scaring them off, and that's the first time she's done this. And I know some people are saying this show is fake, but I don't actually think it is. I think it's real, but I do think they're getting people who are more extreme than, say, like people who have got the fear but not as much as that. I do think it's real. And I felt really proud of her. I thought she did, she pushed through. And as I said, it's because of her son. Her son was the main motivation. So the next person on the show was Gary the gardener. I felt a bit sorry for him because he's scared of frogs. And he did explain that, he's a gardener and he feels embarrassed. He says he's 6 foot tall guy, quite macho. And he says, and then he's scared of frogs. And I did feel for him, and I think he did really well, because he said he was scared to tell people that he's scared of frogs. He makes excuses. If he's doing someone's garden and he sees the frogs, he'll make an excuse and leave, and he'll make a note that he's not going to return back. So when he first went into the room, they put one frog, not loads, in a box, and he walked over to the box, and he was able to put his hand on the box, and he was able to be close, but he couldn't do anything more. And then when you heard the backstory as well, I think I would probably be scared as well under those circumstances. So his dad was clearing out a pond, and the pond was empty, and then there was hundreds and hundreds of frogs on the, well, not hundreds, there was loads of frogs on the bottom. And because there were so many of them, and he was in the pool when it was being cleaned out, and he was quite young, he felt trapped, and it also just seemed like a swarm. So that's where he got his fear from. So, and it's called Ranadaphobia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it wrong. You could see he was shaking. You could see he was getting really emotional. But what I liked about it was, in the end, the fact that he was able to. They took the frog out of just a normal empty box, and then they put it in a box with leaves and plants and more of what would be a natural environment. he was able to put his hand in the mud and the leaves and stuff and to touch the frog. And then there was a massive toad, and he kept saying, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. But in the end, he had the toad in his hand. He was stroking it, and it did seem genuine. He was really emotional. He was crying, and I think I got a bit emotional because I thought, you know, when you see someone pushing themselves to that level and they know that they're scared, but they push through it, then it is a big thing and it is a big deal, you know. And these people are all showing themselves on TV. Some people are going to laugh at some of the phobias they have, but they're doing it for themselves. So that was brilliant. Yeah, that was a really good one. And the final one was Lisa. This one was a tricky one. She's got emetophobia. I think it's called emetophobia, which is a fear of being sick or of people being sick. This one was a bit weird. Lots of people have got this phobia, but also I couldn't watch all of this. I tried, but I couldn't. I haven't got a phobia, but there's no normal person that wants to hear someone being sick. So to me, that is like not even a phobia. That's just something most people don't want to hear. So she's got this, but hers, because she's got children, hers is extreme, because if her children even get up in the middle of the night and she thinks they're going to be sick, she has to like leave the house. Now, I don't know if that's really true, but she's saying that. So she said she's had this phobia for 7 years. She said when she thinks someone is going to be sick, or when she's going to be sick, she just goes into panic. She just goes into a mess, really. And she said the memory, or the reason that she feels like this, is because when she was 10 years old and her parents were divorcing, it was a toxic separation, and the dad was telling them all the details about why they're separating and stuff. So it was quite traumatic. But then the mum was so stressed that she was being sick all of the time. So the daughter, Lisa, has got this memory of like hearing her mum being sick, and that's triggered by trauma. So every time she hears another person being sick or thinks it takes her back to that memory. So that makes a lot of sense of why she feels that way. So what they did was, when I heard what they were going to do, I was thinking, really? So I thought they were going to have someone actually make themselves sick. But what they had is someone reenact being sick. So they gave them something to drink, and then the person was going to actually pretend they're vomiting. And they were going to try and do that in the room, but Lisa couldn't handle that. And I don't think most people could. I switched it on mute because I thought they were really I didn't want to hear it. So then they had her in the other room. So the woman was in another room, retching and actually pretending to vomit, but she was still using it was just horrible. You know, I don't know why but what they were trying to get, I suppose, across to Lisa is that just because someone is being sick, it's not anything to do with the trauma that you've been through. It doesn't mean you're still safe. You know, it doesn't mean that anything's going to happen to you. So yeah, she got through it. She didn't run off. She stayed with the fear. And what I think with the professionals this week, more than any of the other weeks, is I've really kind of started to get an idea of what they're trying to say. Obviously, I'm a counsellor, so I understand CBT, I understand exposure therapy, but it was just really good the way the professionals are really helping, providing psychoeducation to the people that come to the clinic. It's good the way they're explaining to the viewers watching why this person has this phobia. Everyone can laugh at people and say, oh, you're scared of bananas, you're scared of buttons, or whatever it is, but it's about the memory, or because people are not scared of the actual item. That's not going to hurt you. You know, that frog isn't going to hurt that man. He knows that he's a 6-foot+ man. The frog isn't going to be able to hurt him. Bananas, balloons, all these things are not going to hurt you, but your fear is coming from a memory, a previous memory or a previous trauma, or your brain is telling you that you're scared. So it was really good. It was a good episode last night. I really enjoyed watching it, and I felt really proud. I don't know these people, but it's I almost feel really proud for them when it works out for them, because it's like you're invested, you want it to work. You know, so it's really nice to see people succeeding at something which is a fear. So did you guys watch it? If you did, feel free to leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye.